How could an impulsive, fearful, and flawed fisherman become the cornerstone of the church? This question seems impossible, but perhaps it says more about us than we imagine. Have you ever experienced this? The feeling of not being prepared, of thinking that God would never choose someone like you. The story of St. Peter is a powerful reminder that spiritual transformation doesn't begin with perfection, but with the rawest humanity. What you are about to discover may surprise you, because before becoming an apostle, leader, and martyr, Peter was just Simon of Galilee, an ordinary man, tired of the nets, struggling with his fears and limitations. Stay with me until the end, because understanding where it all began reveals much more about who he would become and about what was about to happen on that silent morning by the sea. And perhaps, as you listen to this story, some part of you will also recognize yourself in this very human Simon. If this topic resonates with you, leave a comment below about what touched you the most. Sometimes your words can help someone else going through the same dilemma. And of course, if this spiritual journey has already moved you in some way, leave a like. This shows that this type of content has value and helps the video reach more people who need this message. And if you want to walk with us and continue discovering profound stories like that of St. Peter, subscribe to the channel. Your participation here is what makes this community grow. It's what keeps this mission of carrying faith, history, and reflection alive. Now, take a deep breath, because what comes next reveals even more about the man behind the apostle. Simon lived amidst heavy nets, sleepless nights, and the constant feeling of always fighting against something bigger than himself. Galilee seemed peaceful on the outside, but behind the scenes of that fisherman's life, a silent battle raged. Difficult decisions, impulses that spiraled out of control, moments of explosion followed by a deep-seated regret. He wasn't a hero, he was a real man, carrying frustrations, weariness, and that doubt that corrodes the mind of someone who tries, and still feels they aren't making progress. The hidden truth is that before any transformation, Simon faced his own humanity every day, on the edge of that same sea that witnessed his failures and small triumphs. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because there's a detail in this simple daily life that reveals much about the journey that was about to begin. It was in the midst of this arduous routine, between the sound of the waves and the smell of salt on his hands, that something completely unexpected happened. Simon had no idea that his journey was about to undergo such a profound impact that it would change not only his life, but the entire history of faith. When Jesus approached him, there were no long speeches, no easy promises. There was only a silent, direct look, capable of piercing through layers of insecurity, pride, and fear. It was as if, at that moment, all the hidden truth about who Simon really was came to light. And yet, Jesus said, "Come and follow me." The transformation began there, in a simple yet gigantic decision. The new name, Peter, wasn't just a title. It was an invitation to abandon what he thought of himself and embrace what God saw in him. An unlikely choice being made when no one else would. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because the meaning of this calling reveals something that many people have never realized. Peter accepted the calling, but that didn't erase his contradictions. In fact, they became even more evident. It was fascinating to observe how he could experience moments of absolute faith and, seconds later, sink into his own insecurity. He walked on water believing in the impossible, but as soon as doubt touched his mind, his body began to sink. In Gethsemane, he acted impulsively, drawing his sword as if trying to protect what he loves. Even without fully understanding the purpose of that night, this explosive mix of courage and fear accompanied every step of his journey, revealing a restless heart, struggling between what he wanted to be and what he still needed to overcome within himself. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because these impulsive actions hide revelations that say a lot about Peter's mentality. and, in a way, about ours as well. Comment below, that makes sense to me. The night of Jesus' arrest was an open wound in Peter's soul. The darkness seemed denser than usual, as if the very air echoed the sound of swords, hurried footsteps, and the confusion that gripped Gethsemane. Peter, who hours before had sworn never to abandon the Master, now trembled with cold and fear, trying to understand what was happening behind the scenes of that night that would change everything. Questions arose quickly, accompanied by unfamiliar faces, lit torches, and suspicions. And then came the first denial, then the second, and finally the third, laden with despair. It was precisely at that moment that Christ's gaze met his, a silent gaze that pierced his soul as no words could. Guilt fell upon Peter with the weight of a hidden truth he avoided facing. Even the strongest can stumble. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject, because this moment reveals something essential about transformation and new beginnings. When the weight of guilt seemed impossible to bear, something happened that changed everything. The resurrected Christ called precisely the one who had fallen so low. The appearance did not come with reproach, but with a mercy that dismantles any human defense. Peter, still broken inside, heard an invitation that revealed a hidden truth. His journey would not end in the fall, but in transformation. Feed my sheep. This phrase was not just forgiveness. It was mission, purpose, reconstruction. It was as if Jesus were saying, I know your flaws, but I choose you anyway. And that decision changed Peter's mindset forever. He, who had previously trembled before circumstances, now became the rock upon which the church would be born. His leadership began to grow behind the scenes of the nascent faith, marked by miracles, courage, and a determination that impressed even his enemies. That man who had wept bitterly now walked with firmness, facing persecution and carrying a spiritual impact that would guide millions throughout the centuries. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because there is a revelation in this transformation that many people have never perceived, and it says a lot about new beginnings. Rome, under Nero's ruthless rule, was a place where faith seemed to have no room to survive. Persecutions grew like a suffocating shadow, and yet Peter walked with the same determination that was born in that encounter by the sea. He knew the risk, he knew the consequences, but his decisions were no longer guided by fear, but by the hidden truth he carried in his heart. The mission was worth more than his own life. When he was finally arrested, he endured the suffering as someone who understands the impact of his journey. And at the moment of martyrdom, he made a request that revealed profound humility: to be crucified upside down, because he did not consider himself worthy to die like Christ. This gesture did not mark a defeat, but a revelation of spiritual greatness. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because understanding Peter's legacy is to understand the power of a transformation that transcends centuries and continues to live on today. If you've made it this far, I think this story spoke to you in a special way. So, before continuing, subscribe to the channel. That way you can keep walking with me on these journeys that illuminate, challenge, and transform our way of seeing faith. And leave a like on this video, because that shows that this type of content makes sense to you and helps this message reach more people who need to hear something like this today. And so I know who really stayed with me until the end. Comment below. That message was for me. I really want to read what you felt. Now, if you want to continue delving into this universe of profound stories, there's a video over here that complements this topic. Click and continue watching it.